Good morning, I'm meteorologist Chris Ramirez with the Valley Storm Team. Here's a look at that lightning currently ongoing for South Padre Island. You're seeing those very heavy rain. Mostly that rain has now just concentrated in the lower valley, but I'm going to go ahead and step off screen here as we look at that current situation of this impressive cloud-to-ground lightning strikes that are occurring on South Padre Island. So definitely not a good idea to be outdoors with this. Stay away from windows. Right now we are seeing that heavy rain with gusts up to 30 to 35 miles an hour. Here's what we're looking at in terms of radar. Seeing those conditions a little bit calmer for the upper valley, but most of this rain now concentrated for our lower valley area, stretching from Brownsville to South Padre Island. You're able to see those cloud to ground lightning strikes that are currently ongoing right now as we look at the last 45 minutes here. Looking at our radar loop, most of this rain now concentrated in Cameron County. It has tapered off just a bit for our upper valley area from McAllen to Rio Grande City. But right now, the main thing here is that heavy rain and extremely dangerous lightning that is now ongoing, stretching from Brownsville to South Padre Island. The National Weather Service has now expired the severe thunderstorm warning for Cameron County, but flash flood warnings do remain in effect for the upper valley as we are still seeing some localized flooding in and around that area. Right now, flash flood warning in effect until 5 o'clock this morning from McAllen to Rio Grande City. We are still seeing some areas of heavy rain to some dangerous lightning still moving through the area, but of course not as heavy as what we were dealing with within the past 30 to 45 minutes or so. So like I said, if you are watching this, just kind of keep in mind of just practicing those lightning safety measures of those conditions right now, because we're just seeing some extremely dangerous lightning ongoing on South Padre Island. I'm going to go ahead and show you this camera again. This is from Isa Blanca Park of that lightning that is currently ongoing. Just seeing that conditions just more looks like our camera froze. We may have just taken a power hit to that area for right now, but as we look at that, just expecting to see those that very heavy rain right now, especially for South Padre Island. I'm going to go ahead and go show you the radar once again. In terms of the rainfall rate, we've seen some rainfall accumulations up to about 2 to 3 inches in some locations. So as we look at the rainfall totals that we have seen so far, and it's of course, you know, that's the reason why National Weather Service is keeping that flash flood warning that's currently in effect for portions of Hidalgo County, because they've seen up to 5 inches of radar indicated rainfall just to the west of McAllen. Rio Grande City up to maybe between 5 and 6 inches of rain. Along the expressway, 2.6 to 3 inches of rain. Harlingen has received 3 inches of rain. So most of this heavy rain falling mainly has fell in the upper valley in portions of Cameron County, stretching from McAllen to La Jolla, as the National Weather Service is now keeping that flash flood warning that's currently in effect until 5 o'clock this morning there. So I can only imagine that there is flooding ongoing in this area along the expressway from La Jolla to Mission, stretching as far north to Alton there. But the good news is that this rainfall has now tapered off just a bit, so it's going to give some time for those roads to drain off just briefly there as we look at that situation. But currently right now we're just kind of concentrating on what's going on in the lower valley with this heavy rainfall, dangerous lightning that's currently falling. So as we look at the total strikes currently right now, we're seeing up to over 1,000 strikes, and this is cloud to ground lightning. So you want to stay away from windows if you are on the island, as well as dealing with that heavy rainfall and staying off roadways there. So as we look at that situation, just kind of continuing to see this very dangerous lightning, as over 1,000 strikes are currently happening as of now. I'm going to go ahead and see if our camera is back up on South Padre Island right now. So still frozen. We're not really seeing that as of now. But as we look at what's going on with the DHR health cam, let's see if we can see this lightning from the distance there. Here's what's going on from our Edinburgh camera. Rain still falling, but not as heavy as what we've seen. You're able to see some lightning off into the distance, but we're dealing with a bit of a break right now for portions of the upper valley for us here as we go into the closer towards the currently 321 this morning. So of course, myself and Jim Danner are here tracking the storms for you here across the valley as they are now moving out of the valley. Like I said, National Weather Service allowing those warnings, that severe thunderstorm warning, to expire. However, flash flood warnings still remain in effect. I'm going to go ahead and look to see what that latest update.
It was for Northwestern Star.
Okay, Northwestern Star. Flash flood warning is now being issued for northwestern stars. So like I said, we were definitely dealing with some very torrential rainfall just that was currently ongoing for portions of the upper valley. So if you are out and about, not a good idea to be outside right now or making your way across the valley as of now, because some roadways are flooded, especially from McAllen to La Jolla, as those flash flood warnings that are currently in effect. National Weather Service is actually keeping that flash flood warning until 3:30 a.m. for northern Hidalgo County. That includes Lynn, San Manuel, but they are keeping those flash flood warnings in effect for portions of Stark County at least until 5 o'clock this morning. Most of these storms right now slowly making their way out of the valley. Is just that dangerous lightning that's currently ongoing from Brownsville to South Padre Island at the current moment. So most of this rainfall has definitely fell in the upper valley about within the past hour or so. We're not seeing too many flooding hazards right now in Harlingen, even though the National Weather Service is keeping that aerial flood advisory in effect until 5:45 this morning, as well as, but like I said, I'm going to go ahead and show you the rainfall accumulation of what we've been seeing within the past 12 hours or so. Most of this heavy rain, lots of heavy rain, up to 5 to 6 inches of rain falling that just fell within the past hour or so just to the west of McAllen. So I can only imagine there's flooding ongoing from La Jolla to McAllen, especially as in and around Rio Grande City, as the National Weather Service is keeping those flash flood warnings still in effect as of now. The rain has tapered off just a bit, so we're going to see some chances for that water to drain off, but we are seeing most of this activity now just moving across the lower valley as I speak, in terms of that very dangerous heavy rainfall that's currently ongoing. And we are expecting this to taper off just a little bit as we head into the next several hours or so. So our morning commute times may be a bit more calmer, but we are still seeing some of those isolated strong storms that are still kind of moving in from the south into Hidalgo and Stark counties as we look off towards the west here. So we are going to see another batch of heavy rainfall in store for portions of Rio Grande City, as well as rain still falling right now in and around just to the west of McAllen. So flash flood warnings still in effect. Not a good idea to not a good idea to be out and about right now. And it looks, the latest update is that the National Weather Service is extending that flash flood warning for western Stark County until 6:30 this morning. So the thing here is just like we're seeing that flooding problem become a hazard in the upper valley from McAllen to Rio Grande City, even though the rain has lightened up a bit. But we are definitely still seeing most of the heavy rainfall, the bulk of these storms now moving through Brownsville, Los Fresnos, and South Padre Island with extremely dangerous lightning ongoing right now for the lower valley. No severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect as of now. It's just that flooding threat is the primary concern, and that lightning threat is the primary concern for folks in the valley. Flooding less likely. We're still seeing some ponding on roadways from Harlingen to Los Fresnos, but as we go into the next 30 minutes to an hour or so, we're going to continue seeing that heavy rain fall from Brownsville to South Padre Island, as well as dealing with that dangerous lightning ongoing. And like I said, looking at the total strikes, up to 1,300 strikes right now. Of course, we're updating valleycentral.com. We're definitely seeing those conditions remain still rainy, but severe thunderstorm warnings have expired. That flooding threat ongoing for the upper valley. Stay up to date on valleycentral.com, and we'll definitely see you with more updates through the rest of the morning.